Good morning. So, welcome to another of my regular broadcasts on all things career. And today I want to talk about 5 steps that you need to take if you are going to have a successful career. Do you ever find yourself gazing at the mirror in the morning, wondering, was I meant for something better? Is this really where I thought I'd be by now? Am I Am I doing what I expected to be doing? Am I living where I expected to be living? Have I the things that I expected to have? Am I doing the job that was really meant for me? Do you know most people drift into their job? They're not even doing the job that they envisaged they'd do before they left college or university. They Very often the job that they're doing is not even connected with their base qualifications. They go out for a degree in X and end up doing a job in something totally different because the career that they take on isn't planned, it just happens. And so, what we're talking about today is how to actually get to a point where you feel that you're fully in control. You know where you're going and you know how you're going to get there. And believe me, that's powerful. Most people don't do it. And if you don't do it, you just end up getting more or less what you have and what what you get, what's left over, what's left for you, what happens to you. So your life becomes reactionary, not proactionary. So let's start with the very first step, clarity. Yep. Unless you've got a clear idea of exactly what it is that really motivates that really you want to do, unless you've got that clear vision of who you are, where you want to get to, how you're going to get there, and all of that, you don't have any direction. And without direction, without a target, you miss. You end up going somewhere completely different. It's sort of like putting a needle in a map and just going, "Well, I'm going to go there today." It's there's no drive. There's nothing that's taking you where you want to go. So the first thing to do is to get some clarity exactly what it is you want to do. If you're planning to to do some sort of an expedition, you, you don't just sort of pick up a map and start walking. You have to get clarity as to what you're going to be doing on it. You have to know where you're going to be going, how you're going to be get there, how you're going to get there, what you need to get there with. So you need some clarity. That's the first thing. The next stage of that is planning, and we're going into planning. Well, actually, it's not the next stage. The next stage is something subtly different. But the next physical stage is planning, and we're going to get to there in a minute. But first of all, focus on what it is you really want. You're in a career. Is it what you want? Why do you want it? That's the next stage, is understanding why do you want it. Where do you want it to go to? What's the next? Where do you want to end up? What at the When you reach the end, what do you want to look back on and see you've achieved? That's where you get your clarity. The the next step, and this is all interrelated, so we'll be going backwards and forwards between these steps. The next step is purpose, or your why, and a real deep rooted understanding of your motivation. Why do you want to do what you're doing or want to do? So, why do I want this career? Why do I want this in my life? Why do I want to get to this particular point? Let's talk about me for a minute. It's easy to relate to something that's clear. I'm a career consultant. Why am I a career consultant? Well, I'm a career consultant because it came out of what I was doing before, which was recruitment. But why did I go into doing recruitment and career consultancy? Because I wanted to achieve something specific in my life. But what was it I wanted to achieve in my life? Etc., etc., etc. The point is, we're going to dive deeper and deeper into exactly what it is you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it. What I want to achieve is I want to achieve a success that I never thought I was capable of doing. I'd been brought up my whole life to think that that wasn't for me. It wasn't good enough for me. And therefore, or rather, I wasn't good enough for it, which is a better way of putting it, which is exactly the right way. I, people gave me the impression, or I got the impression that, yeah, I could get so far, but I was getting no further. And so I I have a burning need, desire to actually succeed, build something that is successful and that I can look back on. It doesn't have to be massively successful. I don't need to make millions out of it. I just need to have something that is impacting people's lives and helping them to get where they need to get to. And then I can look back and go, I achieved that. I made something happen. I have impacted people's lives. Now, I ran a recruitment business for 20 years and I was helping people. I got people into jobs that they wanted to get to. I got them into the careers that they wanted to get to. But I'm taking that to another step now and working with people directly to help them to achieve what they want to achieve, and that will help me achieve what I want to achieve. So my why is rooted in the desire to help others, but also to succeed myself. And that's what I mean by understanding and having clarity of purpose. The next stage for this is to project yourself several years down the line. Um, you know, perhaps not to the end of your career where you ultimately want to get to, but where's your ambition driving you? Where do you really want to see yourself in 5 years, 10 years time? What will that mean to you if you get yourself there? And that's using your why, your the emotional route into what you really want to do. It's using that to focus on what you have to attain to get to that. So it, I don't want to put this in simplistic terms too much because it isn't quite this, but it might mean I have to, within 5 years, I have to get from where I am now to which is say a project manager working on this type of a project, to being a program director working on global programs. I've got to attain that in 5 years. Um, but more so, it's obviously, from what I was saying, there's more to it than that. But that is the sort of process. Where do I see myself in 5 years? What do I have to? What will I attain in doing that? How will that move me towards getting my why? Getting towards that ultimate goal, if you like, which is achieving, for me, it's achieving that success that I didn't that I've never believed I could achieve, and now I'm pushing towards achieving that. So that's, first of all, you put in the long term objective, the longer term objective, and then we come down to manageable steps. The shorter term objective, let's take it over 12 months, because 12 months is an easy thing for us all to do. We all to some extent have a 12-month an idea where we want to be 12 months from now, and you start by projecting yourself into where you have to get to 12 months from now. And this is where we start the fourth and the fifth process together, because the fifth step is focus, and we start the fifth step at the fourth step by focusing our whole mind onto exactly what we will feel what it will mean to us, what impact we're having, how others will perceive us. Project yourself into that state where you'll be 12 months from now. If I get to the point I need to get to, that's going to take me along this route to the success that I want to have, what will that feel like 12 months from now? As a part of that, we then determine, what do I actually have today? What is it I've got? So when we're not, what we're not doing now is we're going to cut off the past, but we're going to take from the past all those things that are serving us. So and understand exactly what we really have today to take us to that next step. So we now have a starting point, and we're looking to the end point 12 months from now, and there's your plan. How am I going to get from here to there? Project yourself into the future, really feel what it feels like, understand what you must have done to get there. And this is starting to put the elements into the plan that you're going to need to do, so that as we progress from now till then, we can tick them off, as it were. Okay, so it may be I need to get further qualifications, I need to get further capability, I have to attain a higher level of responsibility, etc., etc. I've got to walk up the ladder to some extent, and these are parts of the path that's going to get me from here to there, and that are quantifiable, measurable, and we can tick them off as we go through it. But that leads us on to the fifth element, from the fourth element, which is this focus that you're going to put yourself into, to understand and to really activate in your mind where it is you're going to go. And the focus is doing that daily, every day, each and every day, to project yourself once more into that point, to understand what it feels like, the emotion of it, how other people perceive you, how you perceive yourself, what it's going to mean to you. And that, what that does is that level of success that you're creating in yourself on a daily basis, it actually drives you to do the things that you need to do. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. Rather a big word. Look it up. It's absolutely genuine. Tony Robbins talks a lot about the reticular activating system. It's the part of your brain that's responsible for fight and flight, for example. But it's also the part of your brain that takes, if you like, and I don't quite know how this works, but it sort of takes that emotion, that feeling, on a daily basis, and it will actually help you to drive on a daily basis the activity you need. Basically, it doesn't want to make you a liar, and it believes that you're already there. So you do the things that you need to do to get there. It's the motivation. It creates that motivational drive that's going to propel you through to get to where you want to get to. And that's the idea of focus. And if you can look up a number of people that talk about these sorts of things, if you if you want to get some verification of what I'm saying here. I mentioned Tony Robbins. There's another guy called Brian Byrne, Bryne, I think is how you spell his name. There are a number of people that talk about how you can actually create the imagery. And we're not talking about vision boards here. We're not talking about looking at a car and going, I want that car then. So what? We're talking about real life events, real meaning. And your life and your career are the same thing. Your life enables you, or rather your career enables your life, and your life dictates the needs in your career, as it were. So there's no work-life balance. There's just balance in your life, and that is really important part of what the of this process, if you like, to understand that it's all integral. Okay, I've spoken quite a lot now, about 15 minutes worth actually, to give you the framework of how to uh, build a successful career. But obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. I have a I have a handbook, an ebook, whatever you want to call it, which is how to become a career maverick, how to get career success. And the link on the screen at the moment is available free, and I will put that link into the description for this video on whatever platform you're watching it. And it could be any one of three. It could be in LinkedIn, it could be on Facebook, or you could be in YouTube, any one of the three. And I will make sure that the link for this ebook is there, which will take you through the steps that I've just been talking about in a little more detail. And then if you like what you're seeing and you want to talk to me further about how I can help you to take your career to the next level, to help you focus on where you want your career to go and your life to go, and to help you through this process, then yes, that's a very big part of what I do. So follow this link in the first place. And if you do that, there you will also get a facility to contact me directly, either by email or through scheduling a call with me. So this is James Foster. This is the Careers Mastery Revolution. And until the next time, which is actually tomorrow, when I have a live interview with Peter Nicol, who's going to talk about fractional leadership at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So until then, I will sign off for now and speak to you again tomorrow.